Beauty and the Beast is in theaters now, but should you and your family go watch it?
It's a good question, Paul.
We'll be talking about it next. Well, right now, actually. Hi guys, welcome to the official Plugged In Vodcast. My name is Paul Asay.
I'm Adam Holz.
Joined by Adam Holz. We're here talking about Beauty and the Beast. Lots to talk about here, but first let's just talk about the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
I have.
What did you think of it?
Well, apart from the controversial stuff that we're going to talk about in a minute, I loved it. I mean, it's a delightful movie. It's a very faithful live-action reimagining of the 1991 animated movie. And more so than with Cinderella and with The Jungle Book, it follows very closely. Yeah. There are a couple additional scenes. I mean, there's some small deviations, but it's almost a beat-for-beat live-action remake.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's got Emma Watson in it.
It's got Emma Watson in it.
Hermione fans everywhere are thrilled to death, right?
Well, and she's just a charming actress.
She is.
Really is.
She's perfect for this role.
In Beauty and the Beast, the original, the 1991 version, is probably one of the most beloved Disney cartoons ever, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
And this, I think, takes everything that's good about it and, you know, takes it up a couple notches. Yeah. There's just a lot about love, redemption, sacrifice, putting others' needs above your own. It's terrific, and for all of those reasons, it makes this controversy that much more why did they have to do that? Yeah,
so now we got to get into the asterisk. So
yes.
As we know, probably you are aware out there that there's been a lot of controversy over some, primarily what a director sort of led us to believe going into this movie, that there was going to be a gay moment in this movie. And that got a whole bunch of Christian organizations very riled up. There's been talk of boycotts. There's been a lot of anger. Now that the movie is actually out and you've seen it.
I have.
What does that gay moment look like?
Well, the gay moment involves LeFou, who is Gaston, who's the big, beefcake, musket-carrying dude.
Yeah.
It's his
like
sidekick.
Me.
No, not so much, but
okay.
That was a good try. And Gaston very clearly has a crush.
Not Gaston.
No.
Right?
LeFou very clearly has a crush on Gaston. And it's hinted at probably, my guess is there are probably 6 or 7 scenes where there's flirtatious innuendo, there's double entendres, there are these small hints that this is what's going on.
Right.
At the end...
Now, are those innuendos crass? Are they...
They're not really crass, no, but they're the kind of things that adults will know exactly what's going on. And kids, I would say up to a certain age, it will probably fly right over their heads. I don't think that they're going to really notice.
Right.
And again, levels of awareness vary. So
sure.
I don't want to make an absolute statement here. Near the end, there's a big battle scene. 3 of the bad guys get clothed in women's clothing when the wardrobe attacks them. 2 of them are horrified. One of them kind of smiles and primps and preens, sort of like, oh, I've always wanted to wear women's clothing. And then in the final scene, that character and LeFou end up dancing together very briefly. I mean, it might be 2 seconds, if that. Maybe it might be a second. It's the kind of thing that if I had a stopwatch, it's probably faster than you think.
Wow.
And that's it. And so the question becomes, well, there are several questions. How much of a big deal would we have made about this if we hadn't had the director tell us ahead of time that it was there? I think that we would have had a pretty significant conversation about it. I don't know that it would have been quite
the uproar,
as heated as it has been. But it leaves parents in a pretty tough place in terms of, if you care about this issue, if you have a hold to a really biblical perspective on homosexuality, what do you do with the fact that Disney is injecting this into this story?
Well, and that's one of the really key things that I think parents are grappling with, right?
Yes.
Because their kids have seen the trailers. The trailers look great. They want to see this movie. probably a lot of parents want to see this movie too.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a bigger deal for parents than kids in some ways, because a lot of us were young adults or teens when it came out. So there's a huge nostalgia factor for us too.
Right. So what do parents do with this then? How do they sort of walk through this, whether to see or not see with their kids?
Well, I think it sort of leaves you with sort of a flow chart. You either decide not to see it, and if you decide not to see it, you have to make a decision about, okay, do we talk about why, or do we just say vaguely, well, there's some stuff in it that we don't think is appropriate for you.
Right.
And there's a parallel conversation. If you do decide to see it, do you have, the talk part 2 about homosexuality, or do you say, I think it's going to be subtle enough that my kids aren't going to pick up on it, and I don't need to worry about it. But I think that what is happening with Beauty and the Beast and with pop culture in general, because we're just going to keep seeing this.
And cultural in general.
Culture in general. What do you do with this issue?
Right.
When do you talk about it?
Right, because it's not going away.
It's not going away. And so I think it really becomes an addendum to the talk about the birds and the bees that we've all have to figure out as parents, when is it appropriate and good to have that conversation. And now there's this extra part. And it's frustrating to me. I thought Beauty and the Beast was really a lovely, delightful, though I will say at times pretty intense. Some of the violent scenes. You were mentioning
some of them where it's a little bit scary.
I'm not sure for youngest kids that some of the violence wouldn't leave them with nightmares. But now parents have to grapple with this. And so I understand and appreciate the frustration that comes with that. I think it's a perfectly legitimate option to say, you know what, Disney, you can do what you want, and we're going to do what we need to do as a family. Or you can say, we're going to see the movie and we're going to decide how to navigate this.
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel like, to me, there's really a wrong answer.
No, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer.
It's one of those things where if you choose not to engage, that's perfectly great. But if you're willing to engage and you go to the movie either because the content might go over your kid's head or because you feel like it's time to actually engage with this issue, those are all legitimate choices, right?
They're all legitimate choices. And again, I think we just need to keep in mind that this is not a one-off.
Right.
This is going to keep happening. There has been pressure on Disney to include gay characters in the next Frozen movie, in the next Star Wars movie. I don't know that that's going to happen. I'm not making a prophecy, but I think that there is this push from that side of our culture to have full representation in the most iconic stories. My guess is we're going to see it more and more with superhero movies. I mean, there's already been some of that, but we're going to see more of it. And frankly, I can be watching a football game and we get a Victoria's Secret commercial followed by a car commercial that has two people of the same gender together. So it's all over the place, and as parents, we have to decide when and how we're going to do it.
It's always a perennial problem that we have, particularly when it's within this realm of entertainment, whether to withdraw or to try to engage proactively as much as we can.
Or to split the difference and say, we're going to deal with this issue, but we're not ready to go there yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think those are all legitimate stances and responses.
Yeah, absolutely. So be sure to check out our full review by Bob Hoos over on our website, pluggedin.com.
Yep.
It's a difficult issue, and there's no denying that. Hopefully this vodcast might have helped you walk through it a little bit. And
let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think right down below. Down below. Just type away. So I think that does it for us. My name is Paul. This is Adam. You are Adam.
I
legendary Adam Holz. We're leaving now.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.